What are the sports you enjoy doing on your holiday? In our holiday, we practice many sports like football, tennis, volleyball, ping pong, and running, swimming. In our lesson today, we are going to talk about dangerous sports or extreme sports. In these sports, people make crazy things. We will start with bungee jumping. In bungee jumping, you jump off a bridge and you fall and fall. And then, just before you hit the ground or water, an elastic rope pulls you back. In ice diving, for those people who are absolutely crazy, they put on diving equipment and dive under a frozen lake. They then try to walk upside down on the ice. In parachuting, you jump out of a plane, but then you open your parachute so that you can land safely. But in sky surfing, it's different. You jump out of an aeroplane and use a board to surf the air and do gymnastics in mid-air. And if you like the mountains, you can go rock climbing or go whitewater rafting. In it, you sit in a small inflatable raft and go down a river at great speed. Fast flowing mountain rivers are the best for this dangerous sport. And now we need to study some multi-part verbs. Back out of means to decide not to do something you agreed to do. For example, I can say, it's too late to back out of the deal now. Set up. Set up means to organize a meeting or start a business. We need to set up a party for Mona's birthday. Be into something means to be interested in it. I am not into ice diving. It's too dangerous. Turn up means to arrive. He turned up at the party, but we hadn't invited him. Put on means to wear. Put on your jacket. It's so cold outside. Get across means to explain something. She's a very good teacher. She can always get across new information. Let's start some grammar. Here we are going to deal with present tenses. We will start with the present simple. What are the uses of this tense? We use it to express facts and states. I can say the earth goes round the sun. The sun sits on the west. These are facts that cannot be changed. Habits and repeated actions. I can use it to express habits. Something that happens every day or every period of time. Lucy gets up at 7 o'clock. She walks to school every day. It can express permanent situations, like I can say, Maria lives in Italy. This is her home, where her country and her home. It costs a lot of money to stay in Hilton. We can also use the present simple to express future events, but with one condition. If we are talking about fixed schedules or timetable, like the timetables of planes, trains, of buses, of courses, and of classes. For example, I can say, the train leaves in an hour. The plane to London takes off at 6:50 a.m. tomorrow, because it's the fixed time. We can use it also to talk about jokes, stories, tales, sport events. Two people walk into a restaurant. One of them says to the waiter, and then I can complete the story or the joke. Henry kicks the ball. It's a goal. Another present tense is the present continuous. What we use it for? We use this to express actions happening at the moment of speaking or happening now. I am writing an email to a customer. I'm busy now. Mary's on the phone. She's speaking to someone. We can also use the present continuous for temporary situation. A situation that doesn't last for a long period of time, unlike the present simple. We can say we usually have dinner at home. We usually have dinner at home. This is present simple. But today we are eating out. Present continuous. I use here present continuous because I am talking about temporary situation. Something for a short period of time, not for a long period of time. It can also express actions which occur regularly with a complaint. When I'm complaining about an action regularly, I can use the present continuous with always or usually. She's always losing her keys. He's always loses his mind. She's always screaming, and so on. It can express actions that are scheduled in the future with a time reference. I express the present continuous to express the future when I am expressing an action I have arranged for it to be happening in the future. I'm meeting Barbara tonight. That means that I have arranged to meet it before. I have dated it. We have choose the date and the time, and then we are meeting tonight. I'm getting married in June. This means I have arranged for the marriage before. I have bought a hall, I bought the dress, I invited guests, and so on. He's starting a new job in March. That means that he has arranged for the job. He practiced, he took courses, he applied for the job, and then he's starting it. Now we came to the present perfect. We use it to talk about a situation which started in the past and has an effect on the present. I have lost my keys, so I can't leave the house. He has started again the gym. That's why he's so tired. To talk about a present situation that started in the past. It hasn't started now, started in the past. They have owned different restaurants for several years. They owned it in the past. She has lived in Tokyo since 1998. He lived there in the past and still continue living there. To talk about life experiences, I have visited New York 3 times. They have done bungee jumping on several occasions. Now we came to key words for this tense. For instance, we use them with the present perfect to talk about the duration of a state or an action which began in the past and which still continues. They answer the question how long. For, we use it to talk about how long an action or a state has continued. She has worked here for 3 months. But we use since to refer to specific moment when a state or an action begin. I can say that since, after since we put the starting point of an action. When the action began. When the action began in the past. She's worked here since last summer. But this is the starting point when she has worked. Another two keywords are already and yet. We put yet at the end of the sentence, but already we put it between the auxiliary verb of have or has and the past participle of the main verb. She hasn't left yet. She's already left. We use yet in questions to ask whether an action has been completed. Have you bought those new trainers yet? We use yet in negative sentences to talk about an action that we have not completed at the present time, but that we intend to complete in the future. I haven't saved enough money yet. We use already to emphasize that an action has happened. We have already made $1 million.